I thought I'd cover something, how to tell if a roller tappet, really this goes to roller rockers, lifters, anything like that. How to tell if they're worn or if you got something beginning to go a little south. So I picked up a set of Jim's lifter blocks. These are fantastic. They're made out of 7075, so the highest grade aluminum, highest strength aluminum, outside of getting really exotic. They fit super precise, little bit better than a stock set, but they don't wear nearly as fast as a stock set. Anyways, they were on eBay, 125 bucks I think I paid for a used set. Basically lifters and tappets would have been $800 new, and they got new adjusting screws in them and everything. Problem is the guy had a little bit of a dirty motor. You can see how scored it is, right? You can see all those scars in the steel body. Now we can take care of a lot of that, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. But let's look at the lifter. So all the lifters were good except for this one. So if you look at, there's a pattern. See that little wave pattern in there? See, it's kind of smooth, and there's the original machining mark. God, sorry. There's the original machining mark right there where it really never was riding. And then here's where the lifter was rolling on the camshaft, right? And you'll see that there's a funny little squiggle line right in there, right? That's not good. That means if I take this lifter and I move it, I can't really hold it tight enough. I should have put this in a vise. See that movement? Not a good roller lifter. You can have a little bit of angular movement like that. You can have no movement perpendicular up and down this way. See, it's got a little, maybe a thousandth and a half, right? So you can't have anything going up and down because there's an axle here and there's needle bearings. Let me find one that's, this is a stock unit right here. You can kind of see the bearings in there. See them turning around in there? Okay. And you'll look at this one, how clean this pattern is on it, right? Ran right in the middle of the lifter. Oop, what is that right there? It's like little hair or something, lint. So you can see it ran right in the middle of the lifter, nice and clean. There's really nothing wrong with these. These are super tight, right? I actually might swap them and use these. You can see it was a super, this is the lifter that actually came out of this motor. So I might just reuse these. I'm not sure. We'll see. Or I might buy one of the other ones. But just something to look for when you're buying lifters. You know, you always check them, and especially when you're doing used stuff. But, you know, if you imagine this at the tip of a roller rocker, you shouldn't be able to be moving it. Oh, look at that. There you go. See? It should be pretty tight, especially when it's new. All right, so that's one thing you look for. I did want to show you something else in one of these lifters. This one, when I pulled it open, see how this one's dragging? That's a little bit too tight, and you can see it's very heavily scarred, right? If you look inside here in the oil channel, see that piece of aluminum right there? I think it's aluminum. I haven't dug it out yet. Let me find something to dig this out with. But this is the kind of stuff that'll screw you up when you're doing engine builds. It fell out, guys. Let me see where it is. Anyways, that kind of stuff, sorry, is not good. That one's pretty clean. Well, this one's got some burrs down in it too. So if you look in here, you can hear it. So yeah, anyways, just some of the things you should look for. With cams, and you're wearing needles, this cam came out of a running bike, and you can see where the needle had come apart, and it was on the journal. This is the inner race of the bearing, right? Or where the bearing runs, the needle bearing goes over it like that, right? So where the needle was coming apart and flaking, right? So you gotta look for stuff like that. And you will sometimes see this kind of wear on a lobe. In fact, if you look at the top of this lobe, you get a little bit of it right there, right? The cam's starting to come apart. Which is kind of unusual because this is the lifter that went with that cam, and the lifter looks really good, except you can see on it some little, see those little dots on there, those little specks? That's from extreme pressure. So what happened is maybe some aluminum came through the motor or something. See that little shiny spot right there? That's not supposed to be there. Okay? So those are the kind of things you're looking for. And depending on what kind of engine you're going to build and how many engines you've built over time, you can kind of judge what you should and shouldn't be reusing. For instance, this is a very old motor right here. Lots of oil changes. Look how clean that is. That thing's almost like brand new. That is a little tiny, God, it looks like a little tiny rust mark. You can't even feel it though. Right there. But look at that wheel. It's beautiful. All right. Well, that's it, guys. It's a good way to tell what your lifters are doing. You can do it, you know, V8s, V6s, straight sixes. It works for everything. So just a little insight into what you're looking for when you're looking at roller bearings.